Hi, this is Gary from GAN Railroad, and I'm here to show you my O-scale layout and how to have a layout in a building that's not attached to your house. But if you don't have an attic or a basement, this is a great alternative. It is an office shed made by the Amish, by Stoles Flush Structures in Ackland, PA. Okay, let's take a look at it. As you can see, there's two conduits. One is for electricity. It has its own breaker box. The or sub panel. The other one is for internet and cable wire. This is a 14 by 20 structure. Walk around it here. Hope the wind is being picked up on this. There is the heat and air conditioning. It's called a PTAC unit. That is what's in hotels. All right, let's go inside. All right, we're now inside the layout, shed slash layout. As you can see, 14 by 20. It's a nice size. I have a shelf unit up there. We'll go all the way around and pan the room. There's the TV. There is shelves using old Menards track that I didn't use. I use Menards on the shelf unit because it's nobody can see the track. So I figured, why spend a lot of money? Let's go over here to the breaker box. That's it right there. It has its own breaker. Give you underneath here, there is the Wi-Fi. Let's see if I could. What I did is the Wi-Fi unit, that was about $60. I plugged in the blue wire, the Cat 6 wire goes right into that, through the conduit into the house to the main router. And it's a good idea for people who, especially people who live stream. I've noticed from watching, sometimes their live streams freeze up, they're in their basement or they're up in their attic. You can get this extender really inexpensive. It does no extra money. You don't have to pay extra money on your internet bill. So, just a good idea. Let's take a look up here now at the shelf unit. I use Menards. I only painted the inside track, or I should say the outside track. I'm going to take it down because this shelf, the wood is warping. It didn't get good wood, so I'm going to have to put new shelving up. I have a sheet of plywood I can cut into strips. I'll do that later on in the year. Make a video about that. I'm going to paint all of the track. I used what's supposed to be this stuff underneath here. This is shelf liner. It's like a shelf liner. I use that to dampen the sound, but as you can see, it bunches up and everything. So I'm gonna have to probably end up buying Woodland Scenics and just put it down underneath. I was going for a desert theme, you know, between Las Vegas and Los Angeles, and just not feeling it. I might just make it a year-round holiday themed one, mostly Christmas. What else can you see in here for ideas? Well, as you can see, there's lots of storage space in here. Back under there, I keep all the stuff, packing materials. I know packing peanuts in that in case I have to ship something out. This way I have it instead of buying it. It's expensive. Here's how I have a workbench. Let me show you here. This is my workbench here. Just comes out, spin it around. I did it this way because there's no real room in here if you want 072 layout. If you want 072 curves, I should say. So I can get bigger engines in here. Still need a lot of work. This is a pretty big layout. I could walk on it. I got these transformers. This is as you can see back there, read what that says. This is a rebuilt one by Henning Strains, and It has a breaker in it, which has worked on me for me twice, thank God, because I was running legacy engines and the red light went on from wires hitting that I thought I had wires tapped into the main line underneath, and they were just hanging there. I forgot to connect them, and I pulled one of the carts out here, the metal carts, and it hit it and just snapped. Just everything just stopped, and the red light went on, and it did not ruin my engines. So other things I do in here, any spray paint I take outside. It's pretty mild here in southeastern Pennsylvania all year round. These telephone poles I really like. Maybe I'll make a video of that, of just painting it. I painted this one. It's called wood color paint. Did the bottom so it looks like tar's coming out of it. Well, eventually I'll get them to stand up there. Let's see, I have this track here, which unfortunately the Easy Streets, it's supposed to have transition pieces. I didn't know that. I spent $80 on this and can't find transition pieces. So I may have to go to Menards because I want a track dedicated for trolleys. I want to get more trolleys, but I'd rather just run them around a little town. So I did this with the Menards track. You take some foam board and you just make it look like a street. You cut it out. You need 1/2 inch for the outside. Cut around it, and then you get the ones you buy in the store, 1/4 inch, and it just fits down in here nice. Lots of things I've done in here, made mistakes. Bought this at York. Unfortunately, the steps were not sealed right, they were crooked, so I tried gluing it. I used CA glue. Didn't realize that it steams up all the windows, so I had to pop out all the windows, put new windows in. Some mistakes you make. There's my tablet there. That is for when the base 3 comes out. I'll just leave that on. It's just dedicated for. This shed has a concrete pad underneath of it, and the reason why I got a concrete pad was because I had an old shed, and that shed had animals get underneath of it when you have stone under there. So having a concrete pad keeps them from getting under. Also, there's insulation underneath here, and I don't want them getting up into that. So that's why it's on there. I also extended the sidewalk from the edge of my garage to here. If you have stuff like stepping stones, things like that, what happens is they sink in the ground, especially if you live in a place where it rains a lot. You could end up tracking mud in. If it snows, you really can't shovel it. I just push the snow blower right on it. So that's something to think about. Also, the cost of this was about 14,000 total. There are cheaper alternatives, I guess, if you want to do it on your own, but you'd have to insulate it, which is a really good thing to do because it keeps the heat out when the sun's beating on it. This is air conditioned and heated. Another thing are permits. You may need permits if you're thinking about a building. There's even a permanent structure, maybe a steel structure. Obviously, if you put an addition on your house, that's a given. But I needed 4 permits for this. The doors have to face a certain way. That's the way the township runs it here. So look into that you're able to do this. You could have an association that doesn't allow it. So having a building like this, or this is really an office shed, it's called. You have to look into that before you start getting. It's the first thing you should look at. This does not have, because it's not on a foundation. There's no toilet and sink in here. It would be nice. It's not the end of the world. If I'm painting something, I could fill up a small bucket with water, or when I clean the track with magic eraser I get at the dollar store. Although I did order from Mr. Muffins the track cleaning car. He said it was the second to last one. I think we're the last one. I wasn't sure what he meant, but anyway, it's coming. I'll do a review of that. So, I squeezed a magic eraser in the water. I leave a little bit of water on it, but it dries pretty quickly. It's pretty good for cleaning track. At least that's what I like to use. And you could just dry it off real quick with a rag if you're worried about maybe rust or anything. What else is there? Uh, oh, another thing is ground. Having a grounded, having the electric grounded. Um, what happens is if you don't have a good ground, or if it's not grounded properly, you could end up blowing boards on your trains. Um, Electronics are sensitive to they're not being grounds. I used to years ago fix copiers, fax machines, and we go into offices all over, even in newer buildings. They weren't properly grounded, and boards would blow. That was usually the problem, even with the surge protector. It still happens. It happened in my house here when I bought it in 2000. I had a window unit air conditioner. I bought a new one, and I didn't have central air. So what I did was I put one in that had an electronic control panel, and it blew out pretty quickly. And called for the warranty repair, and they asked if the house was grounded. I said I didn't know if they'll check, and they said if it's not, they're not going to cover it. So I checked it was, and had to have an electrician come out, ground the whole house. Sometimes it could happen. You could buy a house like I bought this house. I thought it was, and I didn't check. My fault, but or you get an addition on the house and it's not done properly. You pay somebody and you think it is, and you just assume they did a good job. They may not have. So it's just something to think about. Um, let's see. And I think that's about it. I did do notes here. One last thing. If you live in, say, the Southwest, and you want to, you don't have basements and that, nothing like that, this is a good option. Maybe you get a add on to your garage or a shed like this. Um, if you're building a new house, I've seen new homes being built in Vegas, and they have an option for a third garage. That's a good option. Get a third garage, uh, even if it's separate from the other two garages. To see if you could have the door put on that faces the backyard. The associations don't like them facing the street. So see if they could have a custom done, and then you'll have a whole room insulated, mini split system, all of that, and enjoy your trains and have fun. So I hope this was informative and gives you some good ideas of what you could do for a permanent layout if you're lacking in some space in your home or want a bigger space. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. What am I supposed to say? Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Is I guess that's what I'm supposed to say. Today is my first time doing a video like this for YouTube. So thanks for watching.